Committee member Marsha Blackburn. Senator, it's good to see you. Thanks very much for being here this morning.
Good to see you.
And the last time we spoke, you said that there would likely be a continuing resolution in place until the new Congress takes over in January. Where are we on this now?
Yes, we're hearing that they're trying to push this omnibus, and the fallback position on this, Maria, would be a continuing resolution that would include the NDAA and also your Ukraine funding. And we're going to see what these negotiations bring. But just as you heard in the clip, this is a document that nobody has seen yet. They say they're working on it. They say they have a path forward. But all in all, the American people are saying, look, this is too much money. We can't afford it. This administration is too expensive to afford. You have shown polling numbers of what the American people think about the economy and the out-of-control spending, and they are saying, get your act together, get this under control. They're not going to support passing an omnibus.
Well, it's pretty incredible to me that the Federal Reserve is the only one trying to stop inflation. The spending out of the federal government continues. This morning, we're learning that the European Central Bank has also raised rates by half a point. This is just happening right now, breaking news. The Bank of England is also raising interest rates. They raised earlier today by half a point, and that's what the Federal Reserve did yesterday. So you've got the central banks of the world trying to head off inflation, but the federal government in the United States continuing to throw more dollars chasing too few goods. And that is how we arrived at 40-year high inflation. Right. Do they not see it that way?
You're right. I think that they are so focused on taking more of the taxpayers' money and putting it into growing big government that they're really not paying attention to what is happening in the economy writ large. People in D.C. want to fund their programs, and by the time the bill comes due on this, with our kids and grandkids having to pay for this, these programs will have outlived their usefulness. This is a short-sighted way to run a country. And when you look at the Fed rate going up and their growth projections going down, and much of it is because of this elevated government spending, you know you're on the wrong track. And Maria, as I have told you, there are three things that could be done to help stabilize this situation. It would be to freeze federal spending, to freeze federal hiring, and freeze federal employee salaries, and then get around a table, get out your legal pad and your number 2 pencil, and get to work looking at what is happening with these various budgets. You know, we do this baseline budget concept. We need to go to zero-based budgeting and say, not what you want, but what do you have to have to make government work?
Well, I'll tell you, Senator, the American people do not understand the decisions of this administration. I mean, the Senate unanimously passing a bill to ban TikTok on government devices over national security concerns. I know you've been pushing legislation to even out the playing field on the App Store. Right. You've got the border, which is a complete mess. I mean, Title 42 is going away next week, and we all know what's been going on until now. We've got 8,000 people crossing the border, coming into America every single day, and Joe Biden has done nothing about it. Once Title 42 goes away, you're talking about expectations of 18,000 people coming into America at once, a day. So how are we going to handle that? 5 million people having crossed on Joe Biden's watch. But between the China support of this administration and the wide open border, what's the motivation here?
And you look at what they're doing, and they're pushing power to the federal government, taking it away from the people and the states. And Maria, if you break these things apart, TikTok, of course, they need to come off of government devices. We've talked about this. TikTok is a Chinese Communist Party surveillance tool. Parents, they are building profiles of your children. They know how long they're on every site. They follow them, they track them, get them off of TikTok. We have had it off of our military members' devices. We're pushing the other. You are going to see us take a harder line against the Chinese Communist Party and China. They are teamed up with Russia, Iran, North Korea, when you look at what is happening with this administration not being firm on them, not pushing to secure that border, it endangers the sovereignty of this nation. It has to stop.
I'll tell you, I mean, the average American out there doesn't have a shot. I mean, you've got TikTok, a tool of the Communist Party, Twitter, Facebook, and all the rest, a tool of the Democrat Party.
That's right.
Senator, we're going to be watching your leadership. Thanks very much for being here this morning.
You got it.
All
Take
right,
care.
Senator